Hi, Todd VanDenburg here with VanDenburg Capital Management and another Uncommon Sense update. So, I, I had a different topic to talk about today that had nothing to do with the markets, but you know, the markets just got hammered today, so I really can't not talk about the markets. I will get to my other topic here in a second, but the markets, it was just a bad day. There's no good way to spin it. The markets just were correcting all day, and there was never an attempt at a recovery. It just sort of started down and just kept going down. The Dow finished down about 1,100 points. It was probably one of the largest down days since early 2020. So what you don't see in my face right now is panic, and here's why. I'm going to show you a different chart than the chart I just showed you with the straight down for the day, and it's a chart of the last week. And so if you fell asleep a week ago and woke up today, you would just be like, oh, well, it's a flat market because we're basically where we were about a week ago. So I guess what I want to tell everybody is, there really is no new news that says why the markets were, super volatile today. Yes, we had Target report that, that they weren't going to meet their earnings expectations. But, come on, let's take that with a grain of salt, because so far for Q1 earnings, 91% of the companies have reported. And of the 91% that have reported earnings, 77% have beaten expectations. So the fact that a couple of companies haven't beaten expectations is not the end of the world. So, last week, I guess my message on the markets today is, last week we started to sort of slowly, things started to settle down. We had, slower volatility days. The markets trended up a little bit, and we basically lost all of the last week today. But again, if we survived all but today, right? So, starting from a week ago, and we were doing fine, and we didn't lose our minds a week ago because we were basically where we are now a week ago, then we shouldn't be losing our minds today. So it's just super important to know that, in spite of these singular events like Target missing their earnings expectations, in general, Q1 earnings are looking pretty good. Now, that's not to say that inflation, isn't going to be a challenge, and rising interest rates aren't going to be a bit of a challenge. But you really have to look at the fact that we have 11.5 million unfilled jobs. There's a ton of cash in the market. It's not in the market, sorry, in the economy. So unlike any other, prior situation where, people were worried about, recessions and things like that and rising interest rates, today's really different, right? The economy might slow down a little bit simply, in large part due to the fact that the government isn't going to be spending as much money as it has spent in the past. And I've covered this in detail on prior updates. So I don't want to go, rehash some old stuff here, but I know a lot of people are concerned about the market performance today. And, we never like down days, but, again, if you fell asleep, last week and woke up today, you'd be thinking, oh, nice flat market. So take that for what it's worth. But what I really wanted to talk about today is something that's happening to a lot of people, and it's happening more often every day, and that's people getting scammed. And I want to preface this with, I personally know people who have been scammed. I have had attempts made on me. I've never actually been scammed. And so I'm going to explain to you what I mean by scam, and then I'm going to tell you how you can avoid it, because it's not that hard. So a scam, you get a phone call from, the caller ID sounds like it's from your local bank or a financial institution or some organization that you've done business with in the past. So it looks like it's something that you might want to answer. So you pick up the phone. And the person on the other line seems to know quite a lot about you, which in today's world is not hard to do, right? The public domain, the web, if you search your name, you could find all kinds of private information about yourself that would be shocking. So, somebody calls you, somebody emails you, somebody texts you, and they seem to have information about you or an account that you have, and they lure you into the next step, which is answering the phone and answering their questions, clicking on a link in the email, clicking on a link in the text. All of these things, this engagement is what leaves you open to the scam. And so I'm going to tell you now the simplest way to avoid it 100% of the time successfully, because I personally have used this for a long, long time and have never even come within a country mile of being scammed. So here's what I do. If I get a phone call from, I'll just make up a situation. Let's say Citibank calls me on the phone and I see it on caller ID. I don't pick it up. I let it go to voicemail. If it's important, they're going to leave a voicemail. But here's how I avoid the scam. No matter what they say, I will pull out my Citi credit card, and if you turn over all of your credit cards, on the back, there's a customer service phone number. I will call that customer service phone number, and whatever the voicemail message said was the issue that I needed to be alarmed about, I will then relay that to the customer service person that I called myself. Don't return using the number from your voicemail. Use the number printed on the back of your credit card. Use the number printed on the front of your statement. Never call a number that somebody provides you in an email, a text, or through a voicemail. So that covers voicemail. If you get a voicemail or somebody calls you from Wells Fargo, Citi, Bank of America, doesn't matter. Let them leave a message. If it's important, they'll leave a message. They're not going to leave a lot of detail. You call them back using the phone number from the credit card or from your statement, or you go to the web and look for your local branch, call your local branch, and then say, hey, I just got a phone call. This is what they said. Can you confirm that this is what's actually going on? 99 times out of 100, the answer is going to be, no, that wasn't us. So if we extend that now to an email, you get an email, looks, hey, they say, we see some transaction activity on your Citibank card. I know I'm picking on Citibank. We see some transactions on your Citibank card that look alarming. Click here to verify that they're your transactions. Don't ever do that. Just go to the back of your Citibank card, call the phone number for customer service, tell them what the email says, never click on any of these links, and never call the phone number that's listed in the link or listed in the email. Just never do that. If you do those two simple things, you will never, ever, ever fall victim to a scammer. Because it's when these people get you on the phone or get you, engaged via text message online that they can be really compelling. And I mean so compelling that even the most intelligent people that you know can be lured into doing things that they would otherwise not do because they seem so authentic. So again, I'm hearing about this more and more these days. So as volatile as the markets are, this is super important too, because if you fall victim to the scam, you could lose thousands and thousands of dollars trying to do what you think is right to protect yourself. And really, you're just falling deeper and deeper into the scammer's net. And especially, again, this is especially true if you're using an electronic device like a cell phone or a computer, because if you start clicking on things, they can then put malware or a virus onto your computer or onto your phone that can basically put you out of commission until you pay a ransom and then they may let you have your computer back. It's a horrible cycle to fall into. So again, the best way, the smartest thing that you can do is if you receive any communication from anybody having anything to do with, some service that you participate in, even if it's like PG&E or the electric company, the bank, credit card companies, Amazon, anything that you do business with, if you receive a communication, email, text message, or phone, you don't ever reply directly through those messages. You find their phone number from either their website, Amazon.com, or on the back of a credit card and you call them directly, or you initiate a chat session directly from the website that you know to be good. Never click on a link in any of these communications, because even though it looks official and looks good, if it's a scam, it's too late after you click on it. So, two different subjects, both important. If anybody has any questions about these or any other financial matters, please shoot me a message, reply to this update, give me a call. I'm happy to answer any questions anybody might have, but that was your update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a like, give us a share, and I'll be back again soon with another Uncommon Sense update. Thanks for watching.
If you'd like to be the first to hear of more Uncommon Sense updates like these, please click the subscribe button below. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks again.